Saad ibn Abi Waqqas, the archer whose prayers reached the sky. The winds of Qadisiyah carried the sound of drums and marching soldiers. The Persian Empire, ancient, mighty, and proud, stood ready with an army that dwarfed the Muslims in number. Yet at the head of the Muslim forces sat a man whose strength was not in his bow alone, but in the prayer that fueled it, Saad ibn Abi Waqqas. From the rooftop of a simple clay building, Saad watched the battlefield. A painful illness had struck him, leaving him unable to ride or fight alongside his men. Still, his presence radiated confidence. Everyone knew that when Saad prayed, the skies seemed to listen. He raised his hands and whispered, "O Allah, you brought us here. Give us victory as you promised your servants." Down below, the fighting began. The Persian elephants roared forward, massive beasts armored for war, shaking the earth with every step. Many soldiers faltered at the sight. How could mere men fight mountains of flesh and iron? Saad's voice cut through the chaos. "Stand firm, for Allah is with those who stand for truth." Arrows flew like clouds across the sky. The Muslims moved with unshakable determination, striking at the elephants' handlers. As the beasts panicked and turned, the Persian lines broke. Saad then commanded the moment they had been waiting for. "Charge!" The Muslim cavalry thundered forward, slicing through confusion and fear. The riverbanks trembled under the clash of steel and the cries of warriors. Hours turned to days, but Saad never left his place of command. When exhaustion overwhelmed the soldiers, they heard him call upon Allah again and again, his dua lifting them when their strength failed. On the final day, under a sky lit by fading sunset, the Persian forces collapsed. Qadisiyah belonged to the Muslims. With that victory, the gates of Persia, one of the greatest empires on earth, opened to Islam. When Saad descended from his rooftop, the soldiers crowded around him, praising his leadership. He simply smiled and said, "It was not me. It was Allah who gives victory. We are only instruments." Years later, when the wealth of Persia flowed into Medina, Saad lived simply, eating coarse bread and wearing worn clothes. When asked why, he replied, "I tasted the sweetness of faith long before the sweetness of this world. One of them fades, the other stays forever." He remained known not just as an unmatched archer, but as the man whose prayers pierced the heavens before his arrows ever reached their targets.